Imagine waking up in the middle of the ocean. You look left, and you see nothing but blue water. You look right, and it's the same thing. Just an endless, rolling horizon where the sea meets the sky. It's silent except for the sound of waves slapping against wood. Now, imagine staying there. Not for an hour, not for a day, but for 133 days. This is the story of Poon Lim. It is a story about bad luck, incredible ingenuity, and the kind of will to live that most of us hope we have, but will hopefully never have to test. It starts in November 1942. World War II is raging across the globe. Poon Lim is a 24-year-old man working as a second steward on a British merchant ship called the SS Ben Lomond. They are sailing from Cape Town to South America, cutting across the South Atlantic. It's a normal day. The ocean is calm. But beneath the surface, a German U-boat is tracking them. Without warning, 2 torpedoes slam into the ship. The explosion is deafening. The ship doesn't just sink, it vanishes. In less than 2 minutes, the massive vessel is gone, dragged down into the deep. Poon Lim grabs a life jacket and jumps. He hits the freezing water as the ship disappears. When he surfaces, the ocean is covered in oil and debris. He is gasping for air, terrified, and thrashing around. After 2 hours of struggling in the water, he spots something floating nearby. It's a wooden raft. He pulls himself onto it. It's an 8-foot square box. Not a boat, just a wooden square. But to Poon Lim, it feels like a palace. At first, things don't seem too bad. He takes inventory. The raft has some supplies. There is a large metal tank containing 40 liters of fresh water. There are tins of biscuits, some chocolate, a bag of sugar, and a few flares. He does the math. If he is careful, really careful, he can make this food last for a month. Surely someone will find him by then. He is in a busy shipping lane. A plane will fly over. A ship will pass by. He just has to wait. So, he waits. He ties a rope to his wrist so he doesn't fall off while sleeping. He marks the days by tying knots in a piece of rope. 1 knot, 10 knots, 20 knots. The days turn into weeks. The sun beats down on him, burning his skin until it blisters. The salt water irritates his sores. But the scariest thing isn't the pain, it's the silence. The ocean is so big and he is so small. Then the supplies run out. It is around day 55 when he eats his last biscuit and drinks his last drop of water. This is the moment where most people would give up. The hunger is a deep, gnawing ache. The thirst is worse. It makes his tongue swell and his throat feel like sandpaper. But Poon Lim decides he is not going to die. He looks at the things he has left. He has a flashlight that doesn't work anymore. He takes it apart. Inside, there is a small metal spring. He pulls it out and carefully bends it into a hook. He unravels a hemp rope to make a fishing line. Now, he needs bait. But there is nothing. He looks at the biscuits he ate weeks ago. He realizes there are tiny barnacles growing on the side of the raft. It's rotten and smelly. But he scrapes them off and puts them on the hook. He catches a small fish. He doesn't eat the fish, though. He uses the small fish to catch a bigger fish. He pulls the raw fish onto the raft, cuts it open with a knife made from a biscuit tin, and eats it. It's slimy and raw, but it's food. But food isn't enough. He needs water. The sun is relentless. He takes the canvas cover from the life raft and rigs it up. When the storms come, he catches the rain. But when it doesn't rain for days, he has to get creative. He starts catching seabirds. He creates a nest on the raft using seaweed to trick them into landing. When a bird lands, he grabs it. He drinks the bird's blood to survive the dehydration. It sounds gruesome, but out there, it is the difference between life and death. Then comes the shark. The sharks are always there. They circle the raft, bumping against the wood, waiting for him to make a mistake. One day, the thirst is unbearable. It hasn't rained in a long time. Poon Lim looks at the shark fins cutting the water. He decides to hunt the hunter. He takes the remains of a bird he caught and uses it as bait. He braids the rope to make it thicker so the shark won't bite through it. He throws the line in. A shark takes the bait. The line goes tight. The raft shakes violently. This is a life-or-death tug-of-war. If the shark pulls too hard, Poon Lim falls in. If the rope snaps, he loses his hook. He wraps his hands in canvas so the rope won't slice his fingers off. He pulls and pulls. He manages to drag the shark onto the raft, but the shark isn't dead. It's thrashing around, snapping its jaws, trying to bite him in the tiny 8-foot space. Poon Lim grabs the metal water tank and bashes the shark until it stops moving. He cuts it open and drinks the blood from the shark's liver. It tastes metallic and strong, but it quenches his thirst. He slices strips of the meat and dries them in the sun. He has conquered the ocean's top predator. But the ocean has other ways to break you. On 2 separate occasions, he sees rescue. Once, a freighter passes by. Poon Lim waves his shirt, screaming. The crew on the deck looks at him. He can see them. But the ship doesn't stop. It just keeps going. Another time, a U.S. Navy plane sees him. It drops a marker in the water. Poon Lim weeps with joy. He knows he is saved. But almost immediately, a massive storm rolls in. The waves crash over him, pushing the raft miles away from the marker. When the storm clears, the ocean is empty again. That disappointment is heavier than the hunger. It's heavier than the thirst. It's the feeling of being totally forgotten. He hits day 100. He spends his time thinking about his family. He sings to himself so he doesn't lose his voice. He exercises, swimming around the raft to keep his muscles from atrophying, always keeping one eye out for sharks. He refuses to let his body fail him. Then, on day 133, something changes. The water. It isn't dark blue anymore. It's turning a lighter shade of green. Poon Lim knows what that means. Shallow water. Land. He stares at the horizon. A small fishing boat appears. At first, he thinks he is hallucinating again, but it gets closer. There are 3 men on board. They are Brazilian fishermen. They spot the strange little wooden box bobbing in the waves. They pull up alongside him. Poon Lim doesn't have the strength to stand, but he smiles. He is lifted onto their boat. He is miles off the coast of Brazil. He has crossed the Atlantic Ocean on a wooden square. When he finally steps on land, he has lost 20 pounds, but he can walk unaided. He holds the record for the longest survival on a life raft. When people asked him later how he did it, how he survived the sharks, the storms, and the crushing loneliness for 4.5 months, his answer was simple. He said, "I hope no one will ever have to break my record." Poon Lim proved that while the ocean is powerful, the human spirit, the refusal to just give up, is stronger. He didn't just survive the South Atlantic. He outlasted it.
Almost gone.